version 3.0 and 3.1, it literally looks like 3.2 is going to be a way lighter patch, but from what we can see from a live stream, although it might be a lighter patch in terms of the main story, it still looks like there is a lot going on. We are getting a smaller continuation of the main story quest, but this time it will heavily tied to the life of the academy and the events connected to it. We're technically getting a new space to explore as well, but it will be actually a Sonorosphere called a dark side, which is basically a mirror reflection of the real-life Startorch Academy, but with a little bit of Alice in Wonderland twist. Additionally, the patch seems to have much more festive vibes on the surface. We are getting more decorations and more bubbly, light-hearted content, but inside the Sonoro, we will probably be facing something much more intense and deeper. So overall, it looks like it is going to be a very interesting patch. We're going to get a new main quest, Chapter 3, Act 4, called Gold Suspended in Shadows. This story will most likely be strongly connected to the Sonorosphere that we saw, the dark side. From what the developers explain, this is a space where the ambition, creativity, and emotions of the Academy students actually shape the Sonorosphere itself. It can be a place full of opportunities and, creativity, but also a place where those darker emotions appear as well, like stress, pressure, expectations, and everything that students struggle with. The main highlight of this part of the story will be Sigrika. We will help her uncover the truth behind the riddles that she discovered, but apparently those riddles hide much more than we can see at the first glance. After finishing the main story, we are going to get the Afterstory called Rabbit Reflected in Shapes. This part is actually very interesting because we will be introduced to a new but technically not completely new character. If you paid attention to the conversations between students in the academy, you might have already heard her name. The character is Hyuki, a Miko with a beautiful white hair and very intricate outfit. She was previously mentioned and was even spotted talking with Lucilla. So this patch might finally give us a proper introduction to her. But talking about strange characters from the live stream, we also saw a completely new character that developers did not even mention directly for some reason. There was a glimpse of a pink-haired girl with a star motif. Right now, she is a complete mystery. I have no idea who she is, what role she plays, or when she might appear in the story, but she definitely caught my attention. We also got a lot of new enemies that are tied to Fraxidus, and I'm telling you, those are looking good. Now, let us talk about the main character of this patch, the highlight of version 3.2, Sigrika, a new Arrow Gauntlet character. Her animations looks absolutely crispy, beautiful. She has a very cute and bubbly personality, and she seems like much more grounded character compared to the others. I think she might show us more about everyday student life in the academy, and I want to see that. Okay, we already know that she puts a lot of pressure on herself. She is trying her best to meet expectations, possibly expectations that she also places on herself. Her animations are stunning. I especially love the solid skin parts of her animation where she suddenly looks much more confident, and expressive. We also got a preview of her weapon and Salthorn ciphers. I am going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the design. It's pretty, visually speaking, but maybe I would love to see more solid skin elements integrated into it. With all the intricate details, becomes very hard to read visually what exactly I am looking at. So, as I mentioned, she will be in the first phase of the banner we are getting, alongside Shuyu-1 with the signature weapon Emerald Sentence. And the 4-star characters will be Yang, Buling, and Sanhua. Then in the second phase, we are getting something a bit surprising, at least to me. Linye is already getting a rerun, even though she was released in version 3.0, which is, I understand, she's very important for the new teams, but damn. Alongside her, we will get Zani and Phoebe with their signature weapons, Spectrum Blaster, Blazing Justice, and Luminous Hem. And the 4 stars for this phase will be Yuhu, Tauchi, and Dungeon. This patch is really really focused on the events from what I saw, and honestly, there are, well, quite of them. The first one is a rhythm game event, which actually includes a small collaboration with Mustache. If this is something for you, you're gonna be happy. Of course, we will also get a lot of asteroids from it. The next event is called Lahairoi Blocks Leisure event, and it looks a little bit like Tetris. Overall, honestly, this patch has a lot of minigames. Normally, that really depends on what you enjoy, but this time I think it actually fits the theme very well. Hear me out. From what I understand, the main theme of version 3.2 is student life, mental health, dealing with stress, dealing with everything that is tied to academy, university, and so on and so forth. So these small mini games are actually supposed to represent ways to relax and relieve stress. I really appreciate when a patch fully commits to the theme and the events match it as well. Another event is Speed Up Fuel Instrumentally Project, which is another small event with mini games. Then we have Knights of the Wild event, which finally includes some combat. So not everything is like small mini games to just click and forget about that. We also have something for people who enjoy the combat system, me included. One event that I am very personally excited about is Whispers Between the Stars. One thing that we have talked about many times is that characters in the main story often feel connected to the banner releases, right? But after their story ends, we do not see them that much. But in this event, we're actually going to get additional interactions and missions with specific resonators. From what we saw, this seemed to focus mainly on characters from the Lahairoi region, so I am wondering if this system will stay exclusively to Lahairoi or if they will expand it to other regions later. Either way, I love the idea. I love the idea, okay? There are characters like Mournier that I really like, and Luke, and I would love to spend more time with them. Another one is called End State Matrix New High Difficulty Reoccurring Challenge. So this apparently introduces a new format with a cycle rewards and multiple stages. Honestly, I don't know about you, but I absolutely struggle with this mode. I thought I had good teams, but for some reason I simply can't get all the rewards. I don't know, maybe that's my skill issue. I don't know. If you have tips for this mode, I will truly appreciate that. Please let me know in the comments. We're also getting a new Tactical Hologram enemy, which is Hydacia. If this enemy not kicked your ass in the overworld, well, now it will definitely kick your ass in the hologram version. And like every patch, we will also get a 7-day login event, which includes 5 standard pools and 5 limited pools. And since we already mentioned Hyuki, she will also have a special event called the Flaming Red in Memory. Apparently, we will slowly uncover parts of her past through this event. It reminds me a little bit of the clue gathering in 2.8. So I'm very curious how it will work here. Also, please do not cancel me for this, but her design, I love her design, and it reminds me a little bit of Acheron's ultimate form from Honkai Star Rail, and I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. I can't wait for this character. We also got quite a lot of optimizations. Autopilot mode has been improved so that it avoids obstacles more effectively. Personally, I do not use autopilot very often because I like to explore and backtrack like a lot, but this is still a nice change, okay? Another improvement is a better surface navigation, which means that the bike should not get stuck on terrain as often. That happens too many times, to me at least. They also added the ability to share and import eco management plans along with better eco backpack management. One change that I am extremely grateful for is related to resonator trials. If you already completed a trial for a character before, especially 4 stars, the game will not force you to do this again. You can simply claim the rewards. That's all. Thank you. Bye. And there are also so small graphic improvements because some mobile devices will now support a high quality graphic option and PC players will get a render distance option. Personally, I still have optimization issues in Lahairoi. I don't know why. Like, my PC is not insane, but it's good enough to run games on the highest settings without problems. So if you have any tips, what setting I could lower without like completely ruining the visuals to me, please tell me in the comments. They also added small environmental interactions. For example, the balloons can now be cut and they will fly away. I know that those are small changes and most of you don't even care about it, but I love them because they make the world feel way more alive. And for all of you that appreciate the merch, we also saw merchandise collaboration. There are 3D printed figurines of Shorekeeper and Cartithia. Cartithia actually got 2. Not saying that we have favorites, but we definitely got favorites. Overall, this patch looks like a lighter one, yes. But honestly, I think we all expected that. And I do not mind that at all. It actually looks like a very cute and fun patch. There are even some Alice in Wonderland vibes, especially with the white bunny and Sigrika being a little bit like an Alice. I also really like that they're touching on the themes like mental health, stress, and expectations. Those are very real struggles, especially when we are putting all of that on ourselves, by ourselves. At the same time, the story might still continue the emotional thread from the version 3.1 and Rover's grief, so we might get both a lighter tone and some emotional moments as well. And of course, to all of us, I am so happy that we will get a little bit of combat events as well. Anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think about version 3.2? Are you excited about this patch, or are you a little disappointed because it is smaller? I don't know. And as always, stay cozy, stay shiny, and I love you so much, Starlights. Bye!